I'm evaluating constantly. I don't sit back and lay it around and wait to see what happens. I need to evaluate, because one thing I've noticed about superego, it's your own personal kryptonite. It's your own personal drain. It will suck the life out of you, because before you know it, your life is not your own. You're spending all your time and energy trying to help other people rather than sitting back and trying to build yourself, trying to think about who you are, what it is you want.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Welcome to the Pitching the Truth podcast. My name is Gregory Paul, and it is my honor to share with you how the truth can lead to stronger relationships, better communications, wealth, and happiness. Come with me each week as I share lessons and insights that I and others have learned through the power of truth. You will reflect, ponder, laugh, and even sometimes cry. But I promise you will learn how to improve your life to become a stronger and better person.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. As my friend's daughter likes to say, welcome. Today, I had a random conversation with my good friend David. Some of you know him very well. He was my coach and mentor for many years, has his own podcast called the 10-Minute Daily Reality Check. And we were talking on the phone the other day, just quickly, as we normally do, and we touched base on something that I think is really relevant. Definitely relevant in my world. Definitely something that has really shaken me quite a bit in the last couple of days to really think about my behavior and in my behavior today, like the way I'm programmed and what I like to do and why I get off on helping people, get off on trying to be the savior, the fixer, the man that comes in at the last moment to save the day. So we had a random conversation and he brought up something. He said, oh man, that's your superego. Fucking superego. What's a superego? What are you talking about? He's like, it's beyond your ego. It's like your ego on steroids. It's your ego with a cape. It's your ego that has to come in at the last minute and save the day. And I really took a hard look at myself. We took a hard look at him because we're both very similar in that way. How many times do you go out and try to fix other people's problems? How often do you stick your face in a place where it really doesn't need to be? I have spent a lot of time in my life, and this goes back to childhood, trying to prove myself to my parents, my friends, my uncle, my relatives, my siblings, that I was superego. I was the guy that could fix everything. No matter what the problem was, I could get it done. But there was a reason why I did it. I did it so everybody could look at me and be like, wow. At least in my mind, I thought they thought that. Like, wow, look at him go. Look at him fix those things. Look at all those great things he does to help people and save people and fix things and make everybody better. But here's the truth. No one gives a shit. No one cares. And if you're living your life to please others, which I did for years and definitely helped me get into my problem, you're going to get screwed every time. Because there's only one person you should live for, yourself. You shouldn't be spending all this time and energy trying to please other people. You shouldn't be feeding your superego, pretending that by doing a good deed, people are going to give it back to you. See, that was my thing. I always felt that giving of myself, giving my energy, helping, caring, and overcommitting my time would somehow come back to me in some way, shape, or form. But mainly, I think I was hoping it would come back in love, affection, and recognition, which maybe it did. But if it did, it wasn't the right kind of affection, wasn't the right kind of love. It wasn't self-love. I wasn't doing it out of the goodness of my own heart, as I do now, because I no longer bow down to my superego. But I take the time, and I think that people really need to look at it and ask yourself, do you feed your superego? Do you do things to help other people with the expectation of recognition or social status or love or attention? Do you spend time trying to create a persona that will be perceived by others as being great or grand? Do you spend time trying to make yourself look better at work? Do you spend time trying to make yourself look more wealthy, look more successful, look more substantial in the eyes of your significant other, lover, or boyfriend, or girlfriend? Or do you feed those beasts with the hope that one day you will be recognized, you will be loved? You see, I fed that beast for years. And trying to break away from that pattern is difficult, especially as a parent, right? Because as a parent, you're always trying to take care of your children. It's what you're supposed to do. It's part of your responsibility as a parent. But there's a problem with that, because you have to lead. You don't just give. You have to lead by example to show them so that they don't become little mini superegos out there trying to please and help others. My oldest daughter, I feel, is definitely fighting this fight as we speak. My other two, it's yet to be determined, but I feel they might be on a different path. Superego is not a place you want to be. Wrapped up in ego alone is not good at all. But superego is the worst place you can possibly be. As you all know, my ego got the best of me. And my superego fed me down a path that I felt I could make all kinds of money and do all kinds of things. And I pleased a lot of people with the money I generated, and I hurt a lot of people also by not paying attention to where the money was coming from. So I want people to think. I want you to sit back and I want you to ask yourself, is superego where you want to be? Is this the kind of person you are? When you're looking at your relationships, are you helping people because you want to? Or are you helping them because you're hoping for some kind of reciprocation? And in return, are they helping you because they just genuinely care and they love for you? Or are they helping you because they're hoping that ultimately you will help them? That's the biggest question that I'm facing in all my relationships, not just personal, business, friendships. I'm evaluating constantly. I don't sit back and lay it around and wait to see what happens. I need to evaluate, because one thing I've noticed about superego, it's your own personal kryptonite. It's your own personal drain. It will suck the life out of you, because before you know it, your life is not your own. You're spending all your time and energy trying to help other people rather than sitting back and trying to build yourself, trying to think about who you are, what it is you want. Maybe you have goals and aspirations that you want to achieve, but it's counterintuitive to think you can do those things if you're spending all this time and energy trying to please other people. Man, I hope that this resonates with all of you. And I know I tend to talk a little quick sometimes when I get excited, but today I decided to slow it down a little bit because I think this is really important. People need to recognize that what's most important is finding your own happiness, your own joy, through whatever that may be. Whether that's playing tennis like I did last night, pure joy for me, absolute happiness. I won, by the way, made me very happy. Spending time with my daughters as I will this afternoon, getting a FaceTime phone call from my other daughter in Ireland, which I did just an hour ago. Just the human connection, the things that bring us joy and bring us happiness are what needs to be paid attention to. The things that you do seeking happiness from others, the things that you do that you think will bring happiness to you are not anything you should put some energy into, unless it comes from a place of love and you feel that there's nothing owed in return. That's the way it's supposed to be. You should give unconditionally. You should never expect something back. And at the same time, you should pay attention to all of the little things that are going on in your world to make sure that you're living your life and going on your path the way you want to be, not following other people's directions, not going down other people's paths. There's so much going on today, in my world and in all of our worlds, because ego is run amok. Ego is everywhere we look. Every piece of information on your phone that's social media driven generally has some attachment to someone's ego because they're putting it up there for some type of recognition. So pay attention. Pay attention to who operates your mind, who occupies your time. Most importantly, take time to reflect, spend time alone, which I'm planning on trying to do this weekend, so that you can figure out what it is you want to do with your life and stay focused on your own path. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, please leave a review at the bottom of this iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you are for this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, take care.